Patchogue-Medford.
So I got an email from one of the alumni at Stony Brook who has a show on a radio station, and he was like, I was just informed that my show was canceled due to sports. He tried to bullshit that he was completely fine with that. And he was like, but I would have appreciated an earlier advance. The show that he had canceled, Paul, is in February. And he's like, I would have appreciated a better advance like in December because I planned a vacation in February. And I would have planned my vacation around not having my show had I known. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, dude, I don't even have the athletic schedule in December. There's literally no way for me to do it.
What a clown. No, it's okay.
Is it both of those? Kev, are you calling this game?
Yeah, I'm calling all of them.
Number 13, Nate Foscarino. Number 23, Brandon Roder. Number 41, Spencer Bruinsbach.
You're calling this one?
Number 72, Robert Appley. 75, Mason Dorian. Number 89, Cole Wagner. Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
So there you have it. Coming to you live from the rinks in Hauppauge, listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan on the call. We'll be joined in a moment by Kevin Broderick, who will be providing color commentary for this dual senior night between Pat Med and Connetquot Sayville. Seniors just been honored, handing out roses to the moms, a tradition unlike any other. And a big matchup here for both sides. Pat Med trying to get win number 1 of the season. 0-18 coming in. Never want to go a season where you don't record a single win. 2 more tries for Pat Med to get that evasive win number 1. Tonight against Connetquot Sayville, and tomorrow against Middle Country, in a game that Middle Country will be looking to win to potentially lock up a spot in the playoffs. Connetquot Sayville, they've got their spot locked up and will be the 7 seed no matter what occurs. Now joined by Kevin Broderick. Now joined by Kevin Broderick. Kevin, welcome to the broadcast. Senior night for both of these teams. Big game, as I was mentioning, for Pat Med. Don't want to go winless on the year. 0-18 coming in. Connetquot Sayville, essentially they have their playoff spot locked up. Will be the 7th seed. Unless unless something unprecedented happens.
Well, no,
it is locked up.
Yeah, the team
because regulation wins. Yes, they are.
Mathematically
they
have
are
it
7.
locked up.
Yes.
There's a couple of teams that have everything locked up. Northport, Huntington, KPC, and the T-Birds. All 3 of those teams cannot move up or down. Everyone else in the playoffs can theoretically move around in their spots, including the game we have later between St. Anthony's and Smithtown Hauppauge, a big-time varsity matchup there. But what I will say, you get these conversations, Branny, a lot about meaningless games in sports. I don't think there is such a thing. I don't think there is a meaningless game, especially tonight when you have a dual senior night and Pat Med is still fighting for their first win of the season.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah,
Kevin.
you might sit there and you say, all right, well, 1 win is 1 win. But think about it. Put yourself back to when you were in high school, if you were playing varsity sports. Getting that one last thrill, it means something. Because for a lot of these players that they might not be playing hockey, at least in the NCAA or the ACHA maybe. This might be their last ride. So that means something. And at the bare minimum, it's their last ride with this team, with your hometown on your chest. It means something.
Absolutely. Highlighting some of the seniors here. For Pat Med, their captain, Gabe Vignato, he comes into the contest for the Raiders as the team's second leading scorer with 6 points on the season. It's been that kind of year for Pat Med, where not much in the goal-scoring department, up and down the lineup. But Gabe Vignato, prominent in the All-Star game for the team that drafted him, that being mine, and an instrumental figure for the Raider offense and defense, playing a great 200-foot game. Look for him to be prominent, along with not a senior, potential future stud for the Raiders, Jack Fauci. 4 points on the year for Fauci, 3 goals and an assist, is third most. But highlighting more of the seniors, Aiden Buscarino, 13 points for the Raiders. Number 72 for Pat Med, Robert Napoli, yet to record a point. What a time to do it on senior night. Ryan Sapugay on the back end also has not recorded a point. Neither has Brandon Rodecker, 23, another defenseman for Pat Med, who has put in a solid season. It's just tough to parse out when the team itself has had its struggles on the ice, Kevin.
Absolutely. And taking some of the looks at the stats of this game, Pat Med only scoring 1.1 goals per game, giving up 8.6. On the other side, the T-Birds scoring 3.7, giving up 5.7. So you can expect a little bit higher scoring probably from both teams. The head-to-head right now in favor of the T-Birds. They won it 8-1 back on November 19th. But again, a lot of time has passed between here and there. T-Birds theoretically with nothing to fight for, but pride, same thing with Pat Med. But that pride can mean a whole lot on senior night. We've seen some senior night upsets as well already.
Certainly have. Ward Melville comes to mind just a couple of nights ago. Big overtime winner, keeps their playoff hopes alive. And speaking to Connetquot Sayville, their senior Logan Booth, 27 points in 16 games played, leads the way for the T-Birds. Expect him to be prominent tonight, the All-Star representing the T-Birds, as well as their defenseman, Joey Villani. Villani wearing number 84, not a senior, so he'll be back with the club, but worth
so
mentioning, 18 goals, 8 assists, 26 points for Villani. He's been an offensive stud on the blue line, has one heck of a shot from the blue line.
I mean, Villani was a guy that was noticeable last year for the T-Birds. He's noticeable this year. So the fact that he's going to be a third-year varsity player next year for this team, you know, you at least have one rock star for the T-Birds going forward. And potentially, obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with Max Goldstein because he's not a native T-Bird player.
No.
But potentially getting Max Goldstein on the varsity roster as well.
That could be Pat Med for the Max Goldstein sweepstakes, but that's a conversation for a season from now. Right now, we've got a hockey game ahead of us. Gabe Aguirre, goaltender for Pat Med. He's been between the pipes for the vast majority of this second part of the season, and senior Riley Hanley gets the nod for the T-Birds. We're underway. Pat Med and Connetquot Sayville. And another senior for Connetquot Sayville is Nick Proscia, his younger brother, playing goal tonight for the T-Birds in a JV varsity game, whereas the A for that team as well in against Sachem. Not usually a goalie, so rare duty work there for younger brother Proscia. It's Beaudry establishing the zone. Good shift here for Pat Med, trying to establish the forecheck early. Here is Spencer Brunsma, previously played for Sachem JV, plays it down the far board or near boards, in behind. Good forecheck here from Napoli. It's again up the near side, backhanded down by Brunsma. Now back with Brunsma, the wrister toward goal, stick save made by Hanley. Round 4, Vignato. Top held in by Spencer Brunsma for the moment, and still able to keep it in the zone despite the efforts of Wagner. Now Sapugay had to come off his stick as he cut middle. And Connetquot Sayville clear the zone.
Good start so far, as we're going to get a whistle for offsides. A face-off coming in the neutral zone. Something that just came to mind, Ryan. I don't know if we've ever worked a game together.
Not in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League.
Potentially at Nationals, but, you know.
We did it. I think we had to have.
I mean, that's what I'm. So many games.
It's been a while.
But no one can remember anything.
No.
It was all a blur.
Nationals was a blur, let me tell you. Anyway, here's Jackalow D to D on the stick of Mason Petrie. Great hit. Yeah, big hit delivered there by Captain Vignato.
It's the energy I'm talking about here on senior night.
Puck up by Bizell. Back on for Jackalone. Another senior for the T-Birds. And Jackalone this season, providing good defense.
Got the opportunity to watch Gavin Bizell's older brother play for the
URI Rams in the ACHA against Stony Brook a couple months ago.
There you go. Sharp angle try from Captain Villani goes wide. And showing off the heavy shot, Jimmy Acker try to play one through. Back with Villani. Pinned to the boards by Vignato. Buck trying to go the other way quickly. Here is Luke Buck. Buck just got by him on the pass from Buscarino. On back from Mason Petrie. Petrie hurried by the forecheck of Sapugay. Out there with Fauci and Vignato out in front with an opportunity, just went wide. Buck trying to take the puck away, does. Takes that to the backhand. Good poke check from Hanley. And Connetquot Sayville able to skate out and avoid the opportunity, the flurry there for Pat Med. Held in at the far point by Tom Forty. His older brother, a Farmingdale Ram, playing for the D3 team. Tom Forty cuts middle, scores! Carter, Tom Forty, the T-Birds lead at 1-0.
Yeah, this is just going to be a great rush up the ice. Plenty of room on the forehand. And that's a deceptive shot right there. You really think it's from the outside. But because he has the stick in the slot, it's really from the middle. It's one of those great opportunities that you have from getting your forehand, playing it on the middle side. That's something that Mike Sullivan talks about a lot, the head coach for the New York Rangers. Reason I know that, he was talking a lot about what wing Alexis Lafreniere was going to play coming into the season. He wants Lafreniere on the right side because he's a left-handed shot. Same deal right there, and that's the result that you can see.
Absolutely. Tom Forty's third of the season. Here's Ogburn. Ogburn, a shot off the stick of Rodecker and out of play. Good defensive stick there for the Pat Med senior defenseman.
Ryan, I'm trying to do my best color commentator. I don't have the experience that Travis Quigley has. I'm not no D2 player for hockey, but I'll do my best to step into his shoes.
I think you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you, Ryan.
It's always good to have playing experience, but if you watch enough hockey, you know the game. You've called, I don't know how many games here for us for LI Sports Network.
I can skate. I can do that much.
There you go. It's a start.
I have a decent wrister for never playing the game.
There you go. It's already had it roll off his stick. On back, Pat Med defense. Pass ahead for Napoli went by him. Logan Booth handed it back to his defenseman, Josh King. And Joshua King, another one of these seniors being celebrated tonight, along with Booth, who has it here. Rolling into the zone, Logan Booth carries in behind Aguirre. He can really wheel with the puck on his stick. Booth. Is he going to go for another lap? No, he's going to pass it out in front to Wagner. Shot it wide. We had Paul Wagner mic'd up. If you missed that, be sure to check us out on social media at LI Sports Network.
Wagner, another all-star. Great net front presence, was set up in the slot there.
To the line, held in by Tom Forty. And play to Brunsma of Pat Med. Brunsma couldn't clear. Logan Booth catches up with it near side. Keeps the cycle moving to Acker. Acker trying to go up top to the point. Good stick provided there by Beaudry. Broke it up, and Pat Med will switch up the forward group.
It's an important change right there for Pat Med. They don't have the momentum right now. They don't want to fall down by 2.
Acker, monitored by Brunsma, carries from near to far. Put it on the stick of Wagner. Wagner reversing. Sapugay intervening. Pinned up against the far corner board. Samulik joining the fight. One-time shot went wide there from Acker, the LI Royal. Back in front. No, it wouldn't go. How did it stay out? Was that Brunsma?
I think that was a defensive stick right there. Watch the near post. That's the only thing that matters on this play. This is the rotation. Booth's going to twist it around. Seeing eye pass, and that was a defensive stick right there.
Spencer Brunsma. What a clutch play. Saves a goal. Keeps it just a 1-goal lead for Connetquot Sayville. It's on the stick here of Sapugay. Or pardon me, that's Samulik. And now ahead for Vignato, drops it, hoping for Buck. Buck not get a shot through.
Just pulls it a little too wide, 2-on-1 back the other way.
Villani with Proscia. Villani saucing it across the stick of Buck. And the way rebound opportunity there. Wouldn't go from Bizel. Gavin Bizel lost a handle in behind. There's Villani. Mentioned how offensive he is from the blue line. Basically playing forward here. Ripped it off the mask of Aguirres. Petrie keeps it alive for the T-Birds. Going to sweep it out in front by Zell. Now back with Petrie in behind. 8:37 to go first period. A chance. Save Proscia. Rebound. Still loose. And the shot on the backhand from Proscia wouldn't go. And Vignato backhands to center. And Pat-Med dodge a bullet there.
Again, the T-Birds, they're heating up right now, but have to hold that.
Yeah, because Vignato rolls in, and a great stick check by Jack alone broke up the Vignato bulldozer rush to the front of the net.
Last year, I want to throw it back to the T-Birds team that they had. They were coming into the playoffs as a lower seed, but the combination of the guys like Keel, who's obviously no longer here, but Booth and Villani still made it a very dangerous team. They gave a real run for the money in the quarterfinals. Ryan, the way they're playing right now, I don't think it matters what seed they're going to be. You can't sleep on them.
No, you can't. They're going to face whoever the 2 seed is. That will be decided, I believe, later tonight. Sachem's in the running for it.
Sachem's in the running. Right now, it's most likely going to be St. Anthony's or Smithtown Hauppauge. St. Anthony's would have to lose their final 2 games in order for it to be Sachem. But, great storyline, the second of those 2 games for the Friars will be against the T-Birds.
There you go. Potential first-round preview. Jack alone. Headman pass for Ogburn. Ogburn to Misaletto. Misaletto runs into Fauci. Turnover. Pat-Med trying to go right back the other way. Rodecker. Now Fauci. Shot air, not puck. Back the other way, Misaletto. Misaletto on a tee for Ogburn. Denied by the left pad of Aguirres. Fauci and Ogburn battling near side. Aiello joining the cause. And flipped out of the zone by the Raiders. All the way down ice will be an icing. 7:04 to go first period. T-Birds on top 1-0.
Momentum slowed up a little bit for the T-Birds. They had some dominating offensive shifts, but some rushes going back the other way for the Raiders. Important for them to stabilize on the momentum. Again, the last time these 2 teams played, Connetquot blew them out of the water. On senior night, everything's going to be a little bit different.
Face off, 50-50. Wagner stepped in, and now here's Acker. Had his stick lifted by Brunsma. Second really good defensive play made by Spencer Brunsma in this game.
Aguirres also with great edge control right there. He was completely bitten on moving over to his right side, but quickly recovered and scrambled back to the left. So he would have been there for any shot regardless.
No icing here. Doherty on the forecheck. Jack putting pressure on Jack alone. Plays it out of the zone by the stick of Brunsma. Brunsma retrieving in the corner. Backhands around for Fury. It's Connor Fury. It's back now with Paul Wagner. Wagner in the far circle. Good stick lift by Brunsma. And Doherty backhands out to center. 6:22 and counting left here. First period. Lone goal of the game scored by Carter Tom 40. Richie Ogburn getting an assist on that goal. T-Birds back in. Brunsma first on it in the far corner. Playing it ahead to Vignato. Poked off his stick. Acker wins the puck race. Coughed it up to Buscarino. Paul Wagner cuts wide. Threw one out in front. Good read and intercept there from Sapugay. Booth swept it back for King. King across. Vignato first on it. Threw into the front of the net. Nobody home for the Raiders. Then missed a check. on Booth. Here comes Logan Booth. Booth breaks in. Cutting wide, goes down. No call there as got the puck from Acker.
Just lost an edge there, right?
Yeah, as there shouldn't have been a call. Played out from the corner on the tape of Vignato. Vignato trying to charge around Tom 40. King breaks over. Drag there. Buscarino by himself. Turned away by Henley. Pat Med, maybe their best look of the game. Buscarino, point blank. Stoned by the T-Bird netminder.
It was almost like he was surprised that Vignato was able to make that pass, and I don't blame him. It was a beauty from number 2. Opportunity in the high slot. He thinks shot quickly. I don't blame him. Had the 5-hole open and then closed in an instant. Great save.
It's one of those things where if you're going to take the shot when you're in all alone on a goalie, best to do it before you get in too tight. Otherwise, you kind of break down the angle for yourself. Looked like that's what might have been the case there for Buscarino. Off the offensive zone draw. It was won by Pat Med, but a turnover. And quickly up ice, it's Bizel. Hits the brakes, takes a peek. And off the stick of Villani on goal. Stopped by Aguirre. 4:37 left here first period. Still 1-0 in favor of the T-Birds.
I think this next upcoming stretch is important. The Raiders got right on the doorstep for a goal. They just got to continue at it. See one puck go in the back of the net.
There's a chance for Fauci. Backhand pass from Rodecker. Fanned on it. He'll skate it up himself. Hits the high slot. A shot left pad stop made by Hanley. And then a big hit delivered by Rodecker in the far corner. Fauci near side. Lost the puck battle. Nasta, can he keep? He can. Towed the line like a tightrope walker. Near side, Fauci circling. Fauci cutting middle. Right pad save made by Hanley.
There's a couple of good shoulder dives right there to get open for Fauci. Opportunities like that, they don't grow on trees.
Point shot from Nasta. Blocked off the ankle of Jackalone. He's shaken up. And he's going to have a hard time getting to the bench, propelling himself with one leg. Meanwhile, the other way, Villani collects in the far corner. Taken now by Rodecker. Good play made by Fury defensively to neutralize Villani. And now on back for King.
Awkward change.
Absolutely.
Petrie was thinking about getting off there. It's a good thing he didn't, because look at him go.
And Mason Petrie over the red, over the blue. Far side shot blocked by Brunsma. Rebound, backhand flip well over the net. Brunsma will settle down in behind. F1 was Aiello. Back out to center ice. Ogburn rolling right back in with speed. Richie Ogburn on the backhand. Shot denied to Garris. Rebound, the puck is in the crease. It's still loose. Oh my goodness. And rescued by Beaudry, who plugs it up the near side all the way down ice. But you take an icing there, don't you, Kevin?
Absolutely. You know, there's just some moments as play-by-play broadcasters where the puck is still loose in the crease and Ryan's running out of air, and then all of a sudden it's broken free. Those opportunities, always the hardest to watch, regardless of which team you're rooting for, because you never know what the hell's going to happen.
It's like, it's right there, it's right there. Why can't you guys see it? I see it, it's right there. There's no goalie. It's chaos. Anyway, King off the draw, shot it wide. Actually glanced off of Aguirre and then wide. A good hit from Brunsma, freed up the puck. Doherty's outlet pass. Briefly hit a body, now back with Doherty. He'll flip in from neutral. Stick to the far corner by Hanley. Doherty giving a bump to King. But the assistant captain for the T-Birds, senior Josh King, rolling up the near side, cutting middle. Couldn't get a shot through. Delayed penalty, though. And it's going to go against Pat Med.
The T-Birds will be on the power play for 2 minutes. Still with 2:13 left in the first frame, so they'll get all of it out. Now, we do have the power play and penalty kill, Ryan, but we've had conversations about this. I don't think it's accurate. And that's no insult to Pat Med, but it says their PK is 100%. That would be
Hear me
highly impressive for any team.
Would you like to know my theory?
What's your theory?
It's last game's percentages.
That could be true.
That's been my theory. And take it with a grain of salt. It could be wrong. I could totally be wrong, but that has been my working theory, that their power play last game might have been 100%. Are they 100% on the year? Well,
I don't think any team.
Am I a millionaire?
I don't think any team's going to go 100% on the year.
No. Pat Med do get the clear early on in the kill and have a potential short-handed rush here. Luke Buck lugging the puck up ice.
I mean, conventional wisdom, Ryan, if your penalty kill and power play put together are above 100, you got a great team.
Indeed. That is usually the goal. Wagner already nearly 40 seconds gone by on the first power play of the game for either side, specifically here for Connetquot Sayville. Wagner lost the puck to Brunsma. Brunsma's clearing attempt blocked by Zell. On behind here, it's Paul Wagner. Banks one to King. King across Villani. He's the trigger man out on the ice. Villani in his skates, 2 out to handle. Here's Buck. Can he go the other way with it? No, but it just got past the line for offsides.
Very close right there.
Centimeters. Got to get metric with it. Face off just outside the Raiders zone.
I prefer freedom units.
All right, well. What's smaller than inches? Centimeters. Anyways, Bizell on the backhand. Rolling in, 42 seconds left on the power play for the T-Birds. Villani. Cross King. King a long shot. Knocked down in front, spun on, a save made on Wagner there by Aguirre.
That's a great play by Fauci as well.
Villani cuts middle, wrister glove save, Aguirre. 33 seconds to go in the period, 19 on the power play, which has finally gotten able to set up here for Connetquot Sayville. Wagner, time and space. Cuts down low, forehanding off. In behind Booth. Shot. Stick save made, Aguirre. King to Villani. Villani, power play expires. Knocked down in front. Logan Booth off the side of the net. Buscarino. Can he clear? Just 3 seconds left now in the first period. Shot at the buzzer. Wouldn't go, and I think it would have counted as well. Gabriel Aguirre. Fabulous to close out the frame.
There's a replay of the near miss. Just dribbles off to the right side of the post as we hit the intermission here on the LI Sports Network.
1-0 T-Birds after one. Thank you, Kevin. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Dual senior night. T-Birds and Raiders. Stick around, second period on its way here on LISN. Welcome back to the Rinks and Hop Hogs, Suffolk County High School Hockey League varsity action here between Connetquot Sayville and Pat Med. Joined alongside Kevin Broderick, Paul Trentini running the cam. I'm Ryan Brannigan. Initial thoughts of that first period, Kevin?
Well, first of all, I thought I was Ryan Brannigan, but that's okay. I'm joking. I'm not Ryan Brannigan.
You are not Ryan Brannigan.
I don't have the deep enough raspy voice to be Ryan Brannigan. I'm jealous.
Apparently pirate-like, if you ask our Spencer Thompson.
I could see it.
Big opportunity right at the start of the frame. Shot it wide on the look there was Bennett King.
But anyways, to answer your question, Ryan, I think the biggest thing is this game has already been back and forth.
Good look there, Missiletto. Didn't quite have the stick angled right as King's shot from the point eventually dribbled through, and it went through the crease. Ogburn with the look down low. He's got it now. And now clearing the zone, potential break opportunity. Buscarino, his second of the game. Buscarino scores! Chipped it over the shoulder. Buscarino ties it at 1 for the Raiders.
I want to give my hat off to how impressive this is. That's a wobbling puck right there. He picks it up at full speed, settles it on the backhand, and shelves it. What a breakaway for number 13. Doesn't need to make up for the miss on the first, but he definitely buries that one.
Just his second goal of the season, 4th point for Aiden Buscarino. Senior making a difference here on senior night. Ties the game at 1. Again, Pat Med looking for win number 1 of the year. Connetquot Sayville have already locked into their playoff spot. They are the 7 seed, but as you mentioned earlier, Kevin, you want to keep the good times rolling. Both of these teams second to last games of the season. Booth, Jackalone. That's through the midsection of Wagner. Paul Wagner digs it out of the far corner. Jackalone settles at the point, shot block. A good glove save there. Palmagiris back down low. Good response here from the T-Birds. Acker, Jackalone, one-time drive, kicked out by Agiris and out of the zone.
That's great rebound control right there. Gets enough pace on the puck off that right leg in order to clear the end.
Booth wheeling right back in. Booth threw a couple of stick checks in behind. Try to center one off the back of the net. Acker looking to pick it up around behind. Chipped it over to Booth. Logan Booth turns, fires, blockered away by Agiris. And Pat Med clear the zone.
Ryan, I know we've talked a lot about the reason that Pat Med want to win, but I think to keep the good times rolling, like you said, that's what's on the line right now for the T-Birds. One thing that I love that coaches around Stony Brook, the university I attend, have said is you can't coach a winning streak, you can't coach against a winning streak. That's what the T-Birds want to take for their upset potential.
Wagner nearly split through all the defense, went in behind his centering feed all the way through. Back for Petrie. Petrie somehow keeps possession despite 2 Raiders in the area. And now puck out of the zone on the tape of Jackalone. Jackalone over the line onside. Carrying down low, centering feed blocked by Nasta. And Rodecker will backhand out. And also worth mentioning, they just lost 12-1 to Smithtown Hauppauge on January 19th. You want to respond with your next game in a big way after a loss like that.
Additionally, you have another big team to play in St. Anthony's. So you have the previous finals appearance for Smithtown Hauppauge, then the defending champions in St. Anthony's. If you can turn around and win one of those games, you're going to feel a whole lot better about upsetting someone again.
Excellent look right out in front, point blank from Villani, backhanded it over the net. Beaudry trying to establish the forecheck for Pat Med. Lays out a huge blow. Getting knocked down for the T-Birds was Jackalone. Back the other way, Villani centers just by the stick of Bizell. Here's Andres. Larry Andres backhanding in. Bruinsma first on it for the Raiders. Beaudry not out, held in by Tom Forty. Fury trying to clear out the far side. Connetquot Sayville keeping it alive. Looking the slot area and deciding to freeze it. Agiris.
Looks like we're going to be getting some fun games on the North Rinks tonight. If you missed the earlier matchup, Southampton East Islip, a freshman juggernaut of a matchup. The Whalers got out to a 3-0 lead. before the Chiefs responded with 4 of their own. They got another one on a power play at the top of the third, Ryan. It was responded by the Whalers with a power play, or a shorthanded goal, down the stretch to make it a 1-goal game before another power play goal sealed it for the Chiefs. Right now we got a 1-1 game and dueling senior nights, and then you close it out with one of the biggest rivalries in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League.
Championship rematch there, as you're alluding to, between Smithtown Hauppauge and St. Anne's. That puck flipped over the glass by Luke Buck. So face off to the left of Aguirre. Ogburn will take it, and will take it against Sapogay. And the senior for Pat Med wins it back. Not out of the zone. Ogburn slows up. Ogburn centers, Missaletto shot it wide. Yellow near side. Held in at the point by King. And Josh King, the senior defenseman, with a good play. However, the puck out of the zone and across for Vignato. Vignato shot off the stick of Jackalone and out of play.
Buscarino got the goal for the Raiders. Tom, 40. The goal for the T-Birds back at 11:58 in the first period.
And you know, Kevin, it's worth noting, no Jake Ranieri tonight for the Raiders. He's not a senior, but the leading scorer for Pat Med this season, Sapogay. Centers one out of the reach of Buck. Buck will retrieve near side, or rather far, and take it near side. Through center ice, Luke Buck hit the red line, dumped in right onto the tape of King. Josh King to Acker. Acker threw a couple of sticks in ahead. It's Wagner. Wagner. They're going to retrieve. A nice stick there from Samuelek to Vignato. Vignato racing in. Vignato across, trying to go back door to Samuelek, just missed. Luke Buck. Right back in on the far boards. Jack alone. Flips it up ice. Rodecker to settle for Pat Med with nearly 6 minutes gone by in the second period. We're tied at 1. Connetquot, Sayville, and Pat Med. Acker centers. Booth shot deflects wide. Clearing attempt off the linesman. Skates back with Josh King. King down the boards. Rodecker gets over. Centering feed, and Luke Buck without a stick. Try to just kick it, Kevin. You know?
Whatever you got.
Whatever you got to do. 8:40 left, second period. Pat Med iced the puck.
We've talked a lot about the T-Birds' upcoming game. I want to mention Pat Med's upcoming game. That's going to be tomorrow on the 29th, which I believe is the one that got rescheduled from Monday.
Yes.
So rare to be playing back-to-backs. It actually never happens besides this instance. That's going to be against the Cougars. Pat Med, while they won't be playing for senior night tomorrow, could be playing spoilers as the Cougars are still trying to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, Cougars with a win, and they are in the driver's seat, I believe. They would be 1 point clear of Ward Melville as it stands right now. Ward Melville's last game, if I'm not mistaken, against Northport Huntington.
Yes, so that's going to be a hard one for Ward Melville.
It is.
But again, we talk a lot about momentum. Ward Melville coming off their best win of the season.
Huge win against KPC. Fauci for Pat Med. A little under halfway gone in this second period. Things sort of settling out. Fauci through the legs, sweeping, putting it in the middle of the ice, and Villani is the only man there. He'll skate it out. Villani on the forehand, sharp angle try, stopped by Aguirre. Rebound, free in the high slot. Turnaround try from Proscia, kicked out by Aguirre. Tom Forty, the lone goal scorer for the T-Birds. Handed it off by Zell over the line onside. Takes a shot off Nasta. And now centering try broken up by Montenegro.
That's going to be a penalty.
And there is a delayed call. And it is against Rodecker. And then Villani gave him a little extra shove. Holding is the call right now.
It was a little extra from Villani and then a little extra from Villani. I don't believe that's going to upgrade into anything else, but it looks like we're going to get 2 here, Ryan?
Well, Rodecker's off to the box, and he throws his stick, which might get another penalty added, and now the glove's thrown as well. Fans to our left getting a bit rowdy. That would be the Connetquot Sayville Thunderbird section, Kevin. 7:14 left, second period. Rodecker still a 2-minute minor penalty in the box. You can tell he's clearly frustrated, whether it be with himself or the circumstances. Lone power play of the game belonged to the T-Birds. They were unsuccessful.
Kind of surprised that Villani's not going into the box here. Brandon Rodecker is going to get a holding minor and an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah.
So only one penalty that will apply onto the ice, making it a 5-on-4 in favor of the T-Birds, who are trying to take back their 1-goal lead.
A 10-minute misconduct to Rodecker. He will not be able to return to the ice until at least the third period. One-timer, Missaletto. He scores! Right off the face-off win, the T-Birds make him pay. Connetquot Sayville 2, Pat Med 1, and that's a T-Birds power play goal.
That was just teed up beautifully. The one-timer, picture perfect in the bottom left corner. Not really a shot location you see a lot, Ryan.
No, it was where the open space was. So credit where credit is due, and Missaletto collecting his fourth of the year. Sorry. Fourth of the year. You go ahead, Kevin.
Want to mention Gabe Vignato went over to his goalie after that. They had a little chat, obviously mostly positive, all positive things, because Vignato obviously the leader of this team, but it's a lot of maturity right there from number 2, trying to get his goalie to say, hey, we're still in this, we're down by 1, we still want to get this win.
Only down by 1, and important to note, although don't tell that to the scoreboard here at the rinks, which still has it tied at 1.
I think there might be a slight malfunction in the scoreboard today because it's the second time we have it, but it is correct on the live stats, so the scorer is well aware.
Aiello steps through, backhand shot, Gabe Aguirres, the glove save.
And that is why it's important as a leader to go over and talk to your tender, because big saves like that are momentum swingers in games.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That was a great call by you, great call out, Kevin, and then delivers. Aguirres the big save and gets a nice bump on the blocker there from Fauci, another member of Pat Med who wears a letter. He an A as opposed to Vignato a C. And here's senior Beaudry to take the draw from Logan Booth. By Beaudry in the corner.
You know, and talking about how mental of a role that goalie can be, Anthony Ford, who is the goaltender for East Islip, in the last game on this rink, Ryan, let up 3 goals in the first 5 minutes. He got pulled and then got put back in, and he made electric.
2-on-1, they score! Booth! 3-1 T-Birds. Sorry to interrupt Kevin, but Logan Booth had something to say.
He did. Developing quickly, not even waiting for the pass, and just instantly shoots it. Cross-body shot from Booth. He's been one of the best players on this team for a while. First multi-goal lead of tonight.
Logan Booth potting home his 15th of the year, and I believe it is for Booth his 28th point. Timeout called by the Raiders. 5:58 to go, second period. Slow things down. Try to stop the game from getting away from you here in the second. Pat Med, I have played respectably. That was one of their few big mistakes, allowing that odd man rush, and Logan Booth is not one to miss.
No, he's not. Simply put, Now it's a big momentum swing. I really feel like after that penalty that the T-Birds suffered, or excuse me, that the Raiders suffered, things have been a little askew. They just got to get their feet back underneath them. Plenty of time to play. 20 minutes, 58 seconds to be specific.
Mason Petrie picks up the assist as he got the puck to Booth for that rush up ice. Petrie, that's just his 5th point of the season. Fourth point of the season. His 3rd assist. Doubles up right now. Pat Med, 2-goal lead for the T-Birds. Villani try to plow through. Broken up, and now Vignato, 2-on-2 over the Blues. Got Buscarino going to the net. Vignato a drive, glove save, Hanley. Rebound, Sappergay takes control, plays it on back to the point. Buck, Samulik. Samulik toward the front of the net. Defensive play made by Petrie, who wraps it around. Villani gets to it. Stick lifted by Buscarino. Bizell picking it up, and now back for Sappergay. And the Raiders reset, but so far so good out of the timeout for Pat Med.
And who was it speared by? Vignato. Of course it is. He's the engine for this team.
Pass intercepted by Bizell. Bizell sends around. Villani will pick it up near corner. Villani surrounded by Raiders. Turn the puck over. Flipped ahead. That was behind Vignato. Did everything he could to try to keep it. And then one of the most fortunate bounces maybe I've ever seen is he was going to the bench. It wouldn't have been too many players on the ice. It hit the back of his skate, Kevin.
Vulcanized rubber, Ryan. Does
Now,
weird things sometimes.
It's not actually not going to be a penalty. It's going to be a stoppage in play for hitting a member of the bench. I guess they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt that one leg was on in the bench door. The back leg hadn't made it there yet. Fauci.
I believe the rule is if the puck crosses into the bench where the board would normally be, you're counted as a part of the bench.
There you go. We had the sled hockey team here for a tournament not that long ago, and they were playing in front of the benches. So benches extended out onto the ice. Tom 40 now for Ogburn. Ogburn defended well, and Beaudry coming back through the middle on the intercept. Now gets taken down, no call. Beaudry looking to still play it, and now we've got a penalty. See who it's against. And just a moment, 3:56 left here, second period. Lone 2 goals in recency scored by Connetquot, Sayville, Missaletto, and Booth. Pat Med will go to the power play.
An important one right now for the Raiders. They needed something to go their way. This could be that.
Bennett King offers slashing. Vignato to take the draw, flanked by Sapugay. Cross now for Buck. Luke Buck. Shot blocked by Bizell. Fearless block there from Gavin Bizell. And Joshua King circling away the senior to the line off the glove of Buck and out of the zone. Booth, aggressive on the penalty kill, was looking for perhaps a shorthanded opportunity. Cross corner dump for Pat Med. Retrieved and cleared by Joshua King. 35 seconds gone by on the Pat Med power play, their first tonight. Vignato pressured by Booth. Able to escape the clutches of Logan Booth. Skate to stick, Vignato wheeling around. Maybe doing his best Logan Booth impression right now. Plays it across. Seam pass broken up by Gavin Bizell. And Logan Booth rumbles out of the zone with the puck. And a good stick there from Luke Buck defensively. Over a minute gone by on the power play, though, for Pat Med. And hand pass is going to be ruled against Wagner and Connetquot Sayville.
Not a lot of time left in this second period, which has been dominated largely by the T-Birds. Really started after that penalty to Brandon Rodecker. Now the T-Birds trying to claim some momentum on their own first power play of the game.
Poked ahead. Spencer Brunsma with Fauci. Onside play. Puck wrapped around. Handled here by Fury. Fury to Napoli. And now Fauci. Good stick check from Richie Ogburn. Drops it off to Fury. Just 22 seconds left on the PatMed power play. And great penalty killing there from Paul Wagner, the senior. And good back check there from Ogburn. Thrown wide of the net of Aguirre. Ogburn first to it, ripped it off the far boards. Sharp angle there for Richie Ogburn, but the penalty has expired. 1-for-1 on the kill tonight are the T-Birds. Wagner in behind, centers one. Bulldozing through, he scores! Bennett King out of the box and into the back of the net with the goal. 4-1 T-Birds.
That's a backbreaker right there. And like you said, King rested legs, was itching to get his opportunity. Buries it quickly. Biggest lead of the game. T-Birds up by 3.
You said it, backbreaker. You have an opportunity to pull the game within 1 on the power play. You don't get it done. And then immediately allow a goal. It's tough. We'll see how PatMed respond. And 0-18. Trying to avoid 0-19 for the last game of the regular season. Plug to neutral ice. Slow down here by Petrie. Petrie lifting one ahead. All the way down. Icing against Connetquot Sayville with 68 seconds to play here in the second. Offensive zone draw for PatMed. And late period goals, Kevin, they have a tendency to turn the tide.
Oh,
PatMed
absolutely.
would need one here.
Obviously, it's not as detrimental as a goal in the NHL where you have to simmer on it for 20 minutes. Only a 1-minute break in between periods here in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. But nonetheless, anything to get the lead a little bit closer, that's got to be on the mind of PatMed. I don't think they're in the territory of cheating for offense. You know, obviously at the sacrifice of the defensive end. But that might come quicker than you expect.
Gabe Ignato won the first face-off back for a shot from Buck. That was stopped. Now Connetquot Sayville clear it on the second consecutive draw. Good breakup, though, from Vignato. Tries to lead Buck into the zone. Hopped his stick. Mason Petrie. Pardon me.
Scramble forward for a second. Vignato almost got an open look.
Vignato willing his way through off the post and stayed out. Gabe Vignato doing everything he can. Only stopped by iron.
Take a replay of that. Vignato, he twirls to the middle, hit off the post. Can't see anything from there, and it looks like it's underneath the goaltender.
That close to the goal I alluded to at the end of the period. That could have maybe turned the tide. Still potential for it. 27.4 seconds left. Sapagay will step in to take the draw. Vignato goes to left wing. Buscarino to the right has the lone goal for the Raiders. Sapagay had his stick lifted and the face-off won by Booth. Played around for Wagner. Wagner off the skate of Buscarino ahead of Logan Booth. Booth working on Nasta. Speeds around the net. Logan Booth. Rink-wide flip for Wagner. 7 seconds to go in the period. Swept out in front and cleared by Montenegro. And that will do it for the second, as Connetquot Sayville shine in the latter half of the period with a goal from Bennett King in the final 2 minutes. Logan Booth at 5:58 and Missaletto on the power play at the 7:08 mark of the second period to go up 4-1. Welcome back to the rinks in Hauppauge. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Join alongside cameraman Panasonic Paul and Kevin Broderick. Kevin, third period, 3-goal game. Pat Med, they're not out of it. What do they got to do here in the final 15?
Well, I talked about in the last couple of minutes of the second period. They don't have to cheat for offense just yet, but they do have to mentally make that switch, I would say, at about probably the 8-minute mark. Obviously, you're looking to get any goals possible before then. The more goals you get, the longer you can hold off that cheating for offense mentality.
Spirited break from the huddle in between periods. Good intercept by Samuelic. He fanned on the shot. Samuelic tracking back to it. Samuelic will be back for another season of Pat Med varsity hockey, if he so chooses. After this year, Villani stepping through. Villani. Buck had his pocket picked by Gavin Bizel. Throws around for Villani. Villani, a defenseman, has been playing forward tonight, Kevin.
Villani tends to do that. He can really switch back and forth between any given role. Really what the team needs.
Sapagay to Vignato. Vignato off the stick of Sapagay and wide. In behind. Collected by Sapagay. Try to feed the front of the net. And now Buscarino near side. Cuts middle. Fan on the shot. Backhander blocked by King. Senior Joshua King sacrificing the body on senior night. Gavin Bizel spinning in behind. Looking for the smoothest way possible out of the defensive end. We chip it out the far side for Proscia. And the T-Bird senior backhands in. Samuelic to take it. Samuelic up the far boards, not out. Mason Petrie steps in. Shot one wide. Missaletto toward the front of the net. Cut off and out. Out come the Raiders. Fauci put it through a couple of bodies. And quickly now up ice. Connetquot Sayville with numbers. Villani. Samuelic getting back. Villani, a rocket wide. Missaletto reversing around the boards. Delgado first to pick it up on the far side. Ogburn. And backhanding it out of the zone, Delgado. Jack alone on it here for the T-Birds. 2 minutes, 30 seconds in. Buscarino had to come off his stick. Pardon me, that was Montenegro. Here's Aiello. And he's dumped to the ice. Good clean hit dished out by senior Beaudry. And then Nasta fighting back to the puck. A shot and squeezed in the armpit there by Aguirre. No rebound.
No rebounds. That's the most
No
important
rebound.
thing. No rebounds, no rebounds, no rebounds for both sides.
It reminded me of the UC Soros commercial.
No
there.
goals.
No goals. No rebounds. Put along the near boards, the entanglement begins. To his side, Jack alone waiting for it to come free. It does. Fauci on his horse in after it. Down the near side. Could not get around Petrie. Great defensive play made by Mason Petrie, and he'll wheel it up ice. Petrie, shot off the bar.
Stays in play somehow.
That confused me as well. Delgado coughed it up. Ogburn tried to feed the front of the net. Good play by Beaudry. And Pat Med clear, but you want to try to go from defense to offense, especially when you're trailing. And problem right now for the Raiders is Jackalone flipped it up into the netting out of play.
Again, I said there's plenty of time, but that time starts to tick by quickly in the third period. Already at 11-17, still in a 3-goal deficit. Like I said, that 8-minute mark, that's when you probably want to switch to a more offensive mentality if you are the Raiders. Vignato definitely going to be having a few more shifts down the stretch of this game.
Sure thing is Larry Andres. Plugged it down low. Acker. Backhand sweep. There's Spencer Brunsma. And a good play by Logan Booth. Taking it away. Centering pass from Acker. Nobody home. But the clearing attempt there from Doherty. Missed his man up ice. Vignato. Andres. Banks one to Wagner. Wagner down the near side. Will spin away and send it to Acker. Acker in the corner. Avoiding the check there from Brunsma. Took it back from Brunsma. Now it's Logan Booth. Booth. Shot over the net. Andres. Now Acker. Acker out in front off of Aguirre. And right back to him. Andres near point. Along the ice, the shot wide. Good shift here from Connetquot Sayville. But now here's Vignato with speed out of the zone. Vignato, far circle. Vignato missed wide. Vignato retrieving his own rebound, put it out in front. There's Fury, he scores! Exactly 5 minutes gone by in the third. Pat Med have made it a 2-goal game.
Such important timing right there. All of a sudden you feel a little bit more relaxed. And it's Vignato to set up all of this before a beautiful wrister goes bar down. Ryan, I like that you point out that Vignato got onto his own rebound. That's the key there. He stuck with the play. He didn't give it up. I think the puck actually stayed with his stick the whole time, but that's a moot point.
5th game of the year for Connor Fury. And he's got his first goal of the season. Buck for Vignato. Vignato smushed against the boards by King. Delayed penalty. Pat Med gonna go to the power play.
I 100% agree with that call. You gotta pull up when you see the numbers. Vignato got sandwiched into the board, so that's gonna go down as a 2-minute boarding any day of the week. And unfortunately for Joshua King, he's gonna sit for these minutes.
And Pat Med had a big power play chance in the second period. They did not convert on. It was a fellow King in the box. That was Bennett. Bennett came out of the box and potted the 4th goal of the game for the T-Birds. Now Joshua King in the box. Pat Med fresh off a goal, looking to make it a 1-goal game. Buck, the far point shot deflected and then cleared down ice by Villani.
Good stick from Villani. Vignato was hunting that rebound.
Those 50-50 battles, Kevin. Talked about it with Travis. And I believe it was Sachem Smithtown game. Not that long ago, about maybe 3 weeks. Here's Samulik over the line. Samulik shot, blocker save made by Henley. And the rebound corralled and cleared by Booth.
Unfortunate for the Raiders that both of those opportunities were one and dones. They've been efficient. 2 shots in the first 40 seconds isn't bad, but you want some extended offensive zone time.
Luke Buck brings the puck in ahead on his backhand. Buck around the boards, hounded by Mason Petrie, who does get it off his stick to the line and not out, held in by Samuelek. But his bank pass a little bit off the mark and cleared down ice by Gavin Bizel.
Important to watch Vignato on this power play. Less so about what he's doing in terms of goal scoring, more so about how much energy he's expending.
Lead pass connects to Vignato, one-on-one. Vignato, good defense provided by Villani. Mentioned him playing forward earlier in this game. Well, he's back on defense there for the penalty killing sequence.
T-Bird's getting really physical right now.
Ogburn with that last hit. 30 seconds to go on the power play for Pat Med. Down by 2. 8:16 and counting left in the third period. Came in trailing by 3, trying to get a little heroic here on senior night. Beaudry. Little dump and chase. Villani first on it. A little weird angle taken there to the puck by Beaudry. Villani skates it free and dumps in himself with 5 to go on the penalty to Joshua King. And King over the box, onto the bench. Wagner replacing him. Penalty successfully killed by Connetquot Sayville. Centering pass there from Fauci, intercepted by Wagner. Poked off the stick of Ogburn by Fauci, and then Fauci took down Ogburn. That will be a penalty on Pat Med. And they lose one of their best players in the process. Villani took himself down, and what otherwise would have been a great opportunity offensively for Pat Med is a touch-up for the call.
So, Ryan, these next 2 minutes going to be a big shift in this game. First off, the Raiders have to kill the penalty. That's a must. You don't want to go down by 3 again this late into the frame. Second, I think after these 2 minutes, that's when you're going to see Pat Med start to look for more offense at the sacrifice of their defense. Now, in theory, a shorthanded goal would go a long way, because that would be such an emotion and momentum swinger. As we take a timeout right now, so we'll step aside here on the LI Sports Network. Be right back.
Welcome back. Rinks and Hauppauge, Suffolk County High School Hockey League varsity action. 4-2, Connetquot Sayville leading Pat Med. I'm Ryan Brannigan, joined alongside color commentator Kevin Broderick. Again, this maybe the appetizer for the entree of St. Anne's against Smithtown Hauppauge coming up following the conclusion of this game right here on the North Rink. Cross-ice feed here for Villani. And Pat Med looking for that first win of the season. They're in striking distance. Trailing by 2, but they have a penalty to kill. Both centers. Bizel shot it wide. And a good stick in behind there from Samuelek. Held in by Villani at the line. D King. King shot blocked. And right off the shoulder pad of Villani. Buck in a foot race. King will win it.
Lots of speed right there from Joshua King. He was skating for his life.
Not today, Luke Buck. Both. He's got speed for days as well. Will viciously wrap the puck around the boards. Pass intercepted. Good read there by Sapagay as he joins Buck up ice. 2-on-1 short-handed. Buck try to squeeze the pass through the legs of Villani. He shut the door and he'll carry it up ice. Opportunity ended.
I don't mind how Buck played that at all. He played it passively, which is what exactly you want to do.
Backdoor play for Bizel, turned aside by Aguirre, even though I'm not sure he had his head turned. And Vignato's clearing attempt blocked by his own teammate. Friendly fire as that hits Sapagay up high. Vignato on Wagner. Wagner for Booth. Logan Booth out of the zone. Villani, the captain for the T-Birds, catching back up with it. Villani over the line, onside. Buck took it away, and he'll send it the length and go for a change.
All right, so you're about to start to see the push coming in from the Raiders. Once they go back to 5-on-5, it has to be all out for another goal.
Logan Booth. Stick handles through center ice, into the zone, on the near side, offsides called against the T-Birds as penalty has expired. We're back to even strength. 2 for 3 on the kill tonight. Our Pat Med, 1 for 3 on the power play. Our Connetquot Sayville. So Kevin, you know what that means, that 100% penalty kill.
Very close.
Not to be. All jokes aside, face-off outside the zone. Rodecker trying to win it forward. He's back, and that's a big addition for Pat Med following his unsportsmanlike conduct, 10-minute misconduct.
Sitting for 12 total.
Indeed. It's a long time to be sitting. I'm standing. Here's Fauci. Unable to get by. Good defense provided by Petrie. I feel like I've been saying it all night. The praises of Mason Petrie. Aiello. Little quick jab step and puts it into the far corner. Bennett King has got the insurance tally, that 4th goal as a 2-goal lead for the T-Birds. Beaudry trying to quickly get it to Fauci up ice. They're trying to go D to offense quickly. Acker fell down. Now Petrie shot blocked by Fauci. Now back for Petrie. Wrist shot. He scores! Mason Petrie! 5-2 T-Birds. A tough one to give up if you're Pat Med.
That's the T-Birds just playing consistent right there. Exactly what you want to do in a winning position. They're not making any mistakes, and eventually it comes loose for Petrie to tack on a little bit extra insurance. And now a whole much bigger hill to climb if you are the Raiders.
That it has. Petrie's 2nd of the season, getting the lone assist. Richie Ogburn at his Ogburn's 2nd point tonight. Back the other way, T-Birds looking to add to it. Shot from Booth, blocked down in front by Luke Buck. Wagner, a little backhand flip toward the front of the net. Booth looking to get it, juggling it, setting up for Wagner. Couldn't pull the trigger. Back the other way, Vignato. Quick goal here is what Pat Med need. Vignato cuts middle. Vignato kicked aside by Haley. Rebound guided to the corner by Joshua King. And now Logan Booth emerges out of the mess with the puck. Booth to the backhand. Logan Booth across, denied by Vignato. Oh, Vignato by Aguirre. Vignato is in the area. Saw 2 and whoa. Anyway, here is Jimmy Acker for King. King, a wrist shot. Never got through. Acker. Acker drags behind for handing off to Logan Booth. Booth. Met by Buscarino. Trying to go up to the point. Andres pinching in. Got it back down low. Logan Booth could not wait. And a save made by Vignato for real this time, as he was behind Aguirre and made the stop. King puts it into the far corner. No quit from Vignato. The Rangers could learn a thing or two from him. Down ice it goes.
You know what? The Rangers could learn more than a thing or two from Vignato. I mean, I was about to say he's the exact kind of teammate that you want to play with. Defensive end, offensive end, he puts his whole effort into everything. I don't think I could say that about a single Rangers player that laced them up tonight against the Islanders.
And I don't know, we talk about the announcer's jinx. I accidentally call Aguirre Vignato, and then seconds later...
You're no jinxer, you're a prophet.
That's right, it was the future there. Aguirre down and out, and Vignato, the last line of defense, keeping the T-Birds off the board. Nonetheless, great shift for Connetquot Sayville as they continue to put the pedal to the metal. Nice play there made by Fury. Fury has the 2nd goal of the game for the Raiders. Brunsma chips it to Fauci. On back, senior Jack Alone will not get a shot off. As looks like Proscia's going to be escorted to the box for the T-Birds.
I want to give a shout out to the referee, Wolf. He was on the far point when he saw that penalty go down. He's not even the one calling that penalty, but he saw it and instantly skated over. Maybe a little bit of prophecy himself, knowing that there could be some pushing and shoving. Gotta love when the referees make sure that everything stays clean on the ice.
Proactive officiating here tonight. Another power play for Pat Med if they're going to channel a bit of a miracle status. Starts with a goal here in these next 2 minutes. And just 2 minutes and 16 seconds left in the game. The net is vacant. Aguirre on the bench, looking on as the Raiders need a goal and have nothing to lose. Rodecker for Vignato. Gabe Vignato, you mentioned a lot of ice time in the third. He's had it. Vignato skating away from Bizel. Now wrist shot wide off the ricochet. Fauci tries to settle. Hurried, good defense from Jack Alone, who takes it away. And Jack Alone takes a hit to make a play as he sends it up ice. And again, now when you're on the power play and have the empty net, it's free range to throw the puck toward the empty net from any place on the ice without fear of icing, Kevin.
Now, the only thing I would counter with that, Ryan, is time is on your side. A play like that might not be the smartest when you're the T-Birds and you can just sit on the golden egg until it hatches into a win.
That's what you didn't want for Pat Med there in icing.
Yeah,
that's going to put him back in.
Yeah, it should, and here he comes.
Valiant effort tonight from Gabriel Aguirre. Came into the contest with a .936 goals against average. Unfortunately, we don't track save percentage, but in and amongst a lot of those games, Aguirre is facing upwards of 50 to 60, maybe even in some cases 70 shots on goal. Napoli and Fury to the bench. Nope. And the coach says, no, Fury, get back out there, Fury. Got one of the best names in the SCHSHL. Come on.
Right up there with Budakavoli.
I love it. Just flows off the tongue. Anyway, here is Vignato, shot out of a cannon down the left wing side. Looking to cut middle through the legs of King and wide. Beaudry on it in behind. To Gabe Vignato. Vignato backdoor. Beaudry scores! Great feed from Gabe Vignato, rewarded with the point. And Charlie Beaudry gets on the 2-goal game.
That's where the backbreaker of that extra insurance really comes in, because you can imagine that this would be a 1-goal game, $1.04 to play. That's enough time for another miracle, but instead, now you need some lacrosse goals, face-off goal, something like that.
That's how you talk about Michigans? No, you're talking about quick off-the-draw lacrosse-style goals. LILJ, Winter League, we love you. Beaudry on the forecheck.
Shout out Ellis Joshua.
Shout out Ellis Joshua. As Logan Booth for the final blow. There it is. Empty net goal for Logan Booth, his second here tonight. Not sure if I mentioned it, Beaudry's fourth of the year there. Cut it to 2. Booth right back up to 3. And Connetquot Sayville.
Yeah, Booth doesn't mess around. He wants the win. He wants the momentum rolling into the playoffs. He was robbed of a quarterfinal win last year, has another shot, will have another shot no matter how these next couple of games go.
Yes.
And next week, if you can believe that, Ryan.
That's crazy. Where has the time gone? And the Nassau High School Hockey League, also known as the New York Islanders High School Hockey League, wrapping up their season in just a little bit as well. Paul Wagner. Final 20 seconds. Mentioned earlier tonight, I'll mention it again, he was mic'd up for us, and you can check out our social media at LI Sports Network to listen to Paul Wagner mic'd up at the All-Star game. I believe it was during another game too, maybe, I'm not sure. But here's Vignato. Frustrating loss once again for Pat Med. They showed some fight. They showed some spirit, especially considering the last time these two were out, the score was 8-1. Pat Med dropped this one 6-3. Connetquot Sayville back in the win column on senior night. As they, one more game left to go in the regular season before the playoffs hit, are playing some good hockey. All right, Kevin, no final thoughts? All right, here we go.
I can give you final thoughts.
I was waiting for some final thoughts, you know.
I didn't know you were cueing me in.
I was giving you the fingers, giving you the eyes.
Well, my final thoughts are this. I really like how the T-Birds played. They played a playoff style of hockey tonight. Very, very physical. They didn't make a lot of mistakes. You know, Pat Med really had to earn all of their opportunities. Vignato had to earn a lot of those opportunities as well. So they're playing the right way going into playoffs.
Yes, one more game in the regular season for both of these teams. Middle Country and Pat Med, they square off against one another tomorrow on Thursday. Special Thursday edition of the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. So stay tuned for that. Also stay tuned, Smithtown Hauppauge, St. Anne's, the rivalry, the rematch. All coming up to you next here on LI Sports Network. But for this one, that will do it. On behalf of our cameraman, the one and only Panasonic Paul, color commentator Kevin Broderick, I'm Ryan Brannigan. Until next time, as always, ladies and gentlemen, please have a good night.